All right, so this is a database reactivation campaign, and this is a really powerful tool that lots of companies use. So, database reactivation is when you have hundreds, if not thousands, of quotes for, in this case, solar in the past few years, but they did not move forward. So you have all these people that are warm to your business and they've considered moving forward with you, but they have not. So basically, in this use case, we're going to tell all those people for their solar install quotes, hey, the 30% federal tax credit is going away soon, so you may want to reconsider, getting an updated quote. So I'm going to bring you through this very straightforward workflow. It's just a combination of emails and text messages. I will be adding some voicemails to this as well, but just to give you a clean, clear-cut idea of how this workflow works. So start from the top. Um, right away, it's going to assign the lead to the solar rep. Um, then it's going to send the user a text message. Now, keep in mind, these are people that we've quoted in the past. We probably called and texted and had prior communication, so they're already opted in. So this is not a violation of um, FTC. So, hi, contact first name. It's username with location. Just wanted to let you know the 30% federal tax credit might end after 2025. Homeowners everywhere are finally getting off the fence to capture that very important 30% federal tax credit for their new solar energy system. Would you be open to getting an updated free solar quote? Okay. Then waiting 5 minutes, sending an email, a very similar kind of email. And, in this case, it's saying, when we first spoke, you were exploring solar but hadn't pulled the trigger yet. I want to let you know that 2025 may be the last year to claim the full 30% federal solar tax credit, and homeowners are moving quickly to lock it in. We'd love to help you get updated pricing, explore new financing options, and ensure you don't miss out. Get an updated quote, zero down financing available. We'll do whatever it takes to earn your business. Are you open to the idea of getting an updated solar quote? All right, so pretty straightforward. Then having it wait 30 days. So really just widening that gap of time, because timing is everything. If you hit if you put all your communications, you front load everything, then what if they're on vacation? What if they're dealing with you know, something terrible in the family happened, or you just want to get them at different intervals that are spaced out enough to where they're in a different state, just in case when you initially contact them that they're not in the right state of mind to respond to something like this. All right, email number 2 is actually one of my favorites. So I put this together, created this graphic. So here's how it starts. I've seen a huge spike in solar installs recently, and here's why. 30% federal tax credit may disappear after 2025. Saying the number 5 there. PG&E electricity rates went up almost 50% from 2024 to 2025. See the graph attached. People who were sitting on the fence last year are now making the move. And the thing is, homeowners deserve a layer of protection against the never-ending rate increases from PG&E. I believe when you see the updated numbers, you will understand why it makes sense to switch to solar now. If you have time this or next week, I can provide you with an updated quote. Sound good? And here's um, that graphic. So it's not perfect, but the numbers are accurate. So this is basically where these numbers come from PG&E, and rates in 2024 to 2025 went from a median of 30 cents a kilowatt hour to 44.6 cents per kilowatt hour in 2025. That's a 15-cent increase. So You got the federal tax credit going away in 2025. That's urgency. And then you have the numbers to back it up also, like, hey, rates just went up almost 50% year over year, from 30% or 30 cents a kilowatt hour on average to about 44, just in 1 year. That's a 14 cent per kilowatt hour increase. That's crazy. All right, so we're going to save that. And then it's going to wait 5 days and then send them this last text message. We're not, we don't want to spam them with too many messages. Obviously, if they're not responding with those four touch points, they're probably not going to. So it doesn't make sense to spend a bunch of resources to continue sending them messages. The only thing I would add on to this, like I said, is a ringless voicemail drop, and that is a pre-recorded voicemail. I like to use onlinevoicerecorder.com. So you just click here to record, an MP3 file, and then I can just seamlessly upload it right into here, right into the workflow. But let's look at that last text message. So, are you still high contact first name? Are you still considering switching to solar? There is still time to lock in your 30% federal tax credit, but 2025 is approaching fast. Want me to update your proposal this week? And then your name and location name. I can maybe clean up the language in here a little bit, but you get the idea. So it's basically trying to instill that urgency. Yeah. So I actually updated the language in this text message in the middle of the video because I realized it didn't sound so great. So it sounds a lot better now. Hi, contact first name. Are you still considering switching to solar? There is still time to lock in your 30% federal tax credit. Keep in mind, 30% federal tax credit for new solar installs may expire at the end of 2025. Do you have time for an updated solar quote? Then your name and your company. So here are the workflow settings. This is basically saying that a contact cannot be put in this workflow more than once. If the contact responds at any time to these messages, then the workflow automatically stops. So that way it doesn't continue to ask them, hey, do you want a solar quote if they said no, or if they said, yeah, absolutely. Um, and then right now I have the workflow set to send from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. And yeah, that's pretty much it.